I guess we should start it to complete that on time so people will join in between. So let me kick this off. Good morning, everyone, and warm welcome to the latest gathering of Sitecore User Group Chat. We are excited to start another insightful session together. Today, we are honored to have two great Sitecore committee members, Tyler Holmes, who is a full stack developer at Fishtank, and Rinku Jain, she's a Sitecore MVP and solution architect at Lightpoint. Along with this, they are very active committee members. So in today's session, we are hoping to learn more about Next.js versus JSS Link and about XM Cloud Form. So the first session, I would like to hand over to Tyler. And Tyler, you may begin your presentation.
Hi everyone, thanks for having me. Let me share my screen here. There we go. Can everyone see my screen okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so hello everyone and welcome to my presentation on Sitecore Link versus Next.js Link. Again, I'd just like to thank everyone for letting me present to you today. I appreciate this opportunity. I'm Tyler Holmes. I'm a full stack developer at Fishtank Consulting here in Canada. I've been using React since the middle of 2019, just after the introduction of React hooks. I've also had the luxury of building multiple custom CMS solutions with Next.js back when Next.js version 11 was initially released. Although recently I've been working exclusively with the Sitecore headless solutions with a Next.js frontend, obviously. So today we're going to be digging into the powerful Next.js component and how it compares to the Sitecore JSS component. And then we're going to look at how these two linking components kind of play that vital role in how your users navigate any of the headless websites that you'll be creating with Sitecore XM Cloud. So, our agenda. We have three major topics that we're going to touch today. The difference between Next.link and Sitecore Link, so what the main difference is. So coming out of this, you'll not only know what the difference is, but hopefully be able to utilize any linking capabilities way more effectively. How to configure Next.js Link version 12 and below, and then version 13 and above. So you'll learn how to apply what you've learned to both new projects and any projects that are still running an older version of Next.js. And then finally, I'm going to go over how Next.js preloading works. So this is the biggest benefit of the Next.link component. So it's important that we fully understand how that works so we can correctly implement it into our projects. So I guess the big question is, what is Next.link exactly? Well, to put it simply, Next.link is a stock React component built by the Next.js team that builds upon the standard HTML anchor tag element to provide that native prefetching for client-side navigation. So it very closely resembles the native anchor tag element, but provides some extra advantages such as customizable navigation via custom props, enhanced performance for navigation, and then also some SEO benefits. Now, comparing Next.link to the normal anchor tag, you can see we have a few extra attributes on the Next.link component compared to the normal HTML anchor tag element. You'll notice that most of the elements remain the same, so both tags are still using href, class name, onClick. However, in this specific example, we have two new attributes, prefetch and scroll.
Sorry to interrupt you. Actually,
Yep.
people are facing issue with the screen. Currently, we're seeing the right.
Yep, the slide has changed. Perfect. Sorry about that. So just for anyone that missed it, I went over my agenda. These are the slides that you missed. The general what is Next.link slide. So here, this is the Next.link component that I just discussed. So the Next.link, like I said, the stock React component, it's got its custom props. This is the normal link in comparison, the normal anchor tag. So you can see that the link component at the top has that href, class name and onClick, the same as the normal link, but it also has prefetch and scroll as custom attributes on the Next.link. And then just to confirm, if I switch to the next slide here, you guys can see this table. Yes?
Yes.
Perfect. I'll assume that it's working now going forward. Thank you for letting me know. So like I was mentioning, and sadly you guys could not see due to a technical issue, Next.js link has a lot of potential attributes and parameters that you can use. So I have this massive table on screen right now that's overloading you with information, and that's not even all of the attributes that Next.js has. The Next.js link component has even more attributes than these. So these attributes themselves are what make Next.link so powerful. And it's part of the reason that the Next.link component itself is so versatile. So I'm going to go through a couple of the more powerful ones here. So the first one is prefetch. So this is one of the main points of the presentation. So what is it? Well, for most of the Next linking benefits are from internal linking. So this is mainly used for preloading data. That said, NextLink also handles external linking without any issues. Now, prefetch is the attribute that determines how preloading works, which we're going to cover some more again later in the presentation. But I want to kind of start trickling this information to you now to make it easy to understand. So page preloading happens when the next link component enters the user's viewport. So similar to how animations work, if you think intersection observer, next link will automatically prefetch the data from the internal link and then load the linked page. So this is done in the background with the goal of improving client-side navigation performance. So as you can see in the example on screen, as an element enters the viewport, the value turns to true. So this is when Next.js would start to preload any links that are inside the div that turns to true. Another reasonable note is that prefetching is only enabled in the production environment, so there's no prefetching enabled by default in the development environment. The next attribute I want to talk about is replace. This works the same as the next router replace, except it's specifically for link elements. Now, obviously, it defaults to false, but when set to true, NextLink will replace the current history state instead of adding a new URL to the browser's history stack. So this is great if you want the user to navigate to a new page, but don't want to change the history stack. So for example, imagine you have a multi-step form or wizard-like interface. As the user progresses through the steps, you want them to be able to navigate between steps, but you don't want each step to add a new entry to the browser's history. You can use this as a way to kind of prevent that. And that way, when the user hits the back button, they won't go through each step of the form. They will just be returned directly to the page they were on when they started the form. Fast href is mainly used in the legacy next link component. It forces the link component to send the href property to its child. So in this example, we would be passing the link directly into this anchor tag. So again, this is used mainly in the legacy next link component, which I'm going to cover more later in the presentation. Shallow is another great property. It also is available within the next router, and it's something that I use again all the time when developing complex forms, since it allows us to update the path of the current page without rerunning get static props, get server-side props, or get initial props. So this is particularly beneficial in cases where you want to change only part of the state or the URL query parameters without refetching or re-rendering the entire page. The last attribute I'm going to highlight is locale. So as a developer in Canada, we're a bilingual country. So we're constantly tasked with building websites that need to support both English and French on our user-facing front end. So the active locale is the feature that we use to do that. So it's automatically prepended to the URL, and it makes it easier to manage any multilingual sites. However, the locale attribute, you can actually override this by providing a different value if you want to. But if you set it to false, then it disables all of the default behavior altogether, meaning that you'll need to include the locale manually in the href. This provides that extra flexibility that's crucial for ensuring that your websites cater to any linguistic needs of your users while maintaining precise control over the URL structure. So I've talked about a lot about specifically next link, but more frequently as Sitecore developers, we use the Sitecore link when building headless solutions. So why did I just talk extensively about what Next link is and how is it different, or how does it compare to the Sitecore JSS link? The answer is pretty simple. The Sitecore JSS link is actually the same thing as the Next.js link. In fact, it's an expansion of the Next.js link. The main difference is that the JSS component checks if the link is internal or external, and then renders using either the next link component, or it will render with a normal anchor tag. The Sitecore JSS link also has some great built-in functionality for Sitecore edit mode. So the JSS Next SDK link component in normal modes, this would be what your user interacts with on the front end, returns a next link component, allowing you to control prefetching and other attributes like on the next link component. And then in edit mode, so inside Experience Editor or Sitecore Pages, it's going to return the React SDK link component. Now the JSS React SDK link component in edit mode returns a editable span tag, and this will have or won't have an anchor tag inside depending on your content. And then this does not have the prefetching functionality that the Next.js SDK link component does. So in kind of like a mini conclusion about edit mode, this functionality prevents prefetching from causing any weird performance issues in Experience Editor or Sitecore Pages when using SSR. So for those exact reasons, you should always try to prioritize the use of the Sitecore JSS link. There are some niche scenarios where the traditional Next link could be useful, but you should always try to attempt to use the JSS link when possible. So now I'm going to go over how you configure the Next.js link. It's pretty easy. In Next.js version 12 and under, your version of the Next.js link will be different. You're using what's currently labeled as the legacy link. The main difference you'll notice as a developer is that the legacy link requires an anchor tag to be nested inside the link tag. And then you can apply all the properties like onClick and class name directly to the anchor tag itself. Using passhref, which is one of the attributes that we talked about earlier, is also a quote-unquote requirement for legacy link. While the link will function just fine without using the passhref property, the href value, the link value, won't be passed down to the anchor tag. So the browser or any bots that crawl the site would only see a JS route change. Depending on the bot, it might not even detect it as a link at all. You can enable this functionality in newer versions of NextLink by using the legacy behavior attribute if you wanted to as well. Now talking about Next 13 and above, we have the modern Next.js link. This is currently used link tag by Next.js and Sitecore JSS. So the main difference here is that removal of needing a nested anchor tag and the requirement of using passhref. It's no longer required. So now you can put all the attributes you want directly onto the link tag itself. So what is preloading? Everyone here knows what the standard preloading is, where we preload and prioritize scripts or hero images when the user starts to load onto our web page. But what specifically is next link preloading? Well, next link preloading or prefetching is one of the reasons Next.js feels so fast as a user. The idea is for Next.js to immediately preload all the internal links that are within the user's viewport. So in the picture on screen here, this is how your standard MVC or PHP website will load. Once the user decides to navigate to a page and click on the link, that's when the browser will start to load the page data. Now, with Next.js prefetching, we try to proactively prefetch all the resources on the page that are within the user's viewport. So if you think back to that intersection observer example I was showing earlier, as soon as a new potential link scrolls into view, Next.js will automatically send that data to the user's computer, resulting in extremely fast navigation between pages. Now, that sounds great. Extremely fast navigation between pages is exactly what you want, but it's going to also slow down the initial page loads when you first land on the page. and also subsequently affect any dynamically imported components or lazy loaded images that you have. Because the browser is so busy trying to load all of these above the fold links, a user with a slower computer or a worse internet connection is going to struggle. So you might be thinking now, okay, how do I disable the preloading? Well, the short answer is you actually can't disable the preloading while using the next link component. But you may have noticed that I've shown examples of next link with the prefetch attribute and having that value set to false. Now, like I said, this doesn't actually disable prefetching. It does something so much better. It allows you to toggle between two different modes. The default mode that we've already talked about, so this is when the user's links will be prefetched as soon as they scroll into the viewport, and the disabled mode, which is what's on screen right now, which I love. This is prefetching only when the user hovers over the link. So you're still getting some of that preloading power, but without any of the impact of preloading when a link enters the viewport. Now, if you want to avoid preloading altogether, you would just need to use a native anchor tag. Although this would only be relevant in extremely niche use cases, and it's not generally recommended. A plain anchor tag is going to do a full page refresh. It's going to reload the entire Next.js or React app, whereas a next link with prefetch false will do an XHR request to load the tagged page's JSON file. Then it's going to update the DOM using React's shadow DOM, and it's going to be significantly faster than using a basic anchor tag. So when to enable preloading? How do you choose between loading when the link enters the user's viewport or when the user hovers over a link? The answer is also pretty simple. We generally only want to use viewport preloading for high traffic links and any larger real estate links. So for example, high traffic pages in the navigation, so anything with a 25% or higher click-through rate, any links in hero banners or call to actions, and then featured article links. Now, you might be thinking, is it really that feasible that a user will be overloaded with links above the fold and that will impact performance? It's actually a lot more common than you think. This is techopedia.com. It's a popular technology news website that posts your kind of standard tech articles. This is a top tech website that garners a lot of traffic. Now, as beautiful as this homepage looks, you can already tell that there's a lot of links presented to the user immediately. In fact, the above the fold on this website's homepage has a total of 41 links. We have 11 links in the nav. Of those 11 links, 4 of them are link dropdowns, which contain more links that I'm not counting. We have a secondary subnav with 9 links. There are 7 articles, each presented to the user, and each one obviously links to its own unique article. And then inside each article block, there is a total of 14 sublinks because each article links to the topics page and it also links to the author's bio page. Trying to preload this page with all these links is going to cause performance problems. So obviously we want to optimize this for the user to prevent their browser from immediately trying to load 41 different links on top of all of the images and all the other important content that's needed. We want to preload on hover for almost all the links on this page. There are only a few potential candidates for preloading in the viewport. You pretty much want to preload the links that take up a large real estate, so like the massive featured article or any links with a high click-through rate, so 25% plus, those would be fine for scrolling through the viewport. So I've done some amazing Microsoft Paint work here on this screenshot to help highlight what some good changes would be. I've highlighted every link that could benefit from disabling viewport preloading in green and yellow. I used 2 colors because there was just so many links, it was hard to differentiate the green blob on the page. I've also drawn some extremely elegant red boxes around 3 links on the page. I'm assuming that at least one of the 2 navigation links, so artificial intelligence or cryptocurrency, have a high click-through rate, so above 25%. So I'm recommending that they would preload these for the user. However, it's very realistic that there would only be one preloading viewport item on the page, and that would be that massive featured article in the center there. So realistically, you should only use preload in viewport sparingly. It's going to put more load on technically your server's bandwidth, but mainly the user's computer. It's more efficient to preload on hover for most of your links. Now, before I wrap up here and we come to an end, I'd like to quickly cover when to avoid using the Sitecore JSS link, or some situations where maybe using the Sitecore JSS link isn't the best choice. But I'm going to reiterate this again, just to make sure it's clear that you should always try to prioritize using the Sitecore JSS link when possible. So you should only use the native Next.js link component if you don't have all of the link field data. So a good example of this is linking to social media sites. So in the example I'm using here, it's a share to Twitter button. I'm not getting a link from Sitecore that I can pass down to the JSS link component. So I'm just using the normal Next link component and then creating a dynamic link by using the social page title and the current URL to just generate that custom href link for Twitter. Sometimes you'll have two different links, one that is a full link field and another that's only a URL. So because both NextLink and JSSLink share the same component name, you can't naturally import them both at the same time. However, you could use a simple alias import to import the default Next.js link under a different name, and then that will allow you to use the two components at the same time. So I would like to thank everyone for listening. I hope you've all enjoyed and learned something new and learned a bit more about Sitecore JSS Link and Next.js Link. Hopefully this will allow you to build better websites and better headless Sitecore solutions.
Thanks, Tyler. If you guys have any question, you can ask by muting yourself. If you don't have any question, so let's move on to the next presentation. And if you have find something that is need to discuss with Tyler, so you can directly ask him on Slack, or you can directly reach out to us and we will discuss with him. Thanks, Tyler, for the presentation.
Thank you.
Okay, now the next presentation is by Rinku, and Rinku, you may proceed with this.
Sure. Thank you, Sumit. Is my screen visible?
Yeah.
Okay. So, good morning, all of you, and good evening to Tyler. So, I'm Rinku Jain, and today we are going to cover XM Cloud Forms using Sitecore Connect integration with Sitecore Send, Gmail, and Google Sheets. Okay, so we'll move next. So little bit about me. So I'm Rinku Jain, solution architect in RightPoint. I'm two-time Sitecore MVP and having more than 15 years of experience. So this is a little bit about me. So you can reach me on LinkedIn or Twitter. Okay, so today's agenda. So first we'll go into the Sitecore Forms evaluation. And then I will talk a little bit about Sitecore Connect, Sitecore Send, and Google Sheets. Then we'll talk about the XM Cloud Forms overview, and then we'll go to the demo part. Okay, so the first one is Sitecore Forms evaluation. So if you are working in Sitecore from long time, so you may also worked on either WFM or Sitecore Forms. So like Sitecore start with a WFM, and that was a separate module. We need to install that in Sitecore from Sitecore 8. And then Sitecore 9, Sitecore have their inbuilt forms. That is a part of the Sitecore itself. And afterwards, now we have XM Cloud Forms. So this is a new capability in Sitecore. But here in XM Cloud Forms, we don't have any CD server. Like we all know that now everything is based on the age. So CD part is now gone. So previously, like Sitecore forms used to save the data, but now we don't have any CD server, so we can't store the data. So this is like one thing. Now, how it manages the data? So in it manages the data through webhook. So Sitecore forms integrate with the webhook, and then it passes the data in payload through the webhook. And then when we send the data, so now it's the part of the webhook, like how they are going to use the data and store whenever they want. Now, the third part is to use the XM Cloud forms on pages. So we require minimum JSS 21.6 version. And the last part is like now as this is a SaaS, that is a Sitecore as a service. So here now we don't need to require upgrades. So if let's say any new feature comes in, so it will be part of the uh, form itself because it's in the cloud. So Sitecore will do that part for us. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about Sitecore Connect. So what it is? So like Sitecore Connect give you the capability to connect Sitecore to other part of the world. So this is one thing, and like because now you are connected to any different applications, so somehow it provided you end-to-end connected experience. So like here we are going to see that we are connecting the Sitecore form to Sitecore Connect, and then we'll connect to the Sand and other part like Gmail and everything. So everywhere everything is connected, and user won't feel that anywhere there is any gap. So they'll have an connected experience there. And what it does is like in Sitecore Connect, they uses Workato. So Workato is nothing but an enterprise grade workflow automation platform. So because of that, it have a no code or low code approach. So you have to rarely code anything on that, and you can simply go and create your recipe. So if you see here, this is the Sitecore Connect where we are, when we click on it, it will give you this three option: dashboard, recipe, and library. So we'll see that actually, but here is just an screenshot of that. So we will no, create a recipe, and that recipe will do rest of our work. So here like this is just a screenshot. Like here we'll have an option for creating a recipe. Connection is like where we are integrating with other no connection. So let's say I am going to connect with Google Sheets or Gmail or Sitecore Send. So for everything, we need to have our own connection, and in that connection, we provide the basic information to connect to that particular application. Sorry. The next part is the recipe. So like here we'll create a webhook recipe. So for that, this is the screenshot of that if you see the recipe have different kind of options to choose from, but here we'll choose this one, that is the webhook one. And once we do that, then the next UI will be this canvas where we can build our own recipe, and then we can use that in our XM Cloud forms. Okay, so the now next part is Sitecore Send. So what is it like? Sitecore Send is also no separately sold by Sitecore as a MooSend. So that is a separate product for them because it really great and it provide the email capability. So that is a cloud-based AI-powered and email marketing solution. So wherever you have great potential of email marketing, so you should definitely use Sitecore Send. And it's through its API also you can programmatically call the Sitecore Send and run what all things you can do through the UI. And its core capabilities is like email list, subscriber campaign, segment, and automation. And we'll like briefly look into that too. And this is the screenshot of that where it's just showing that audience where we have the option of email list and segments. And here it's showing there's those things, automation and everything. Fine. So okay, now Google Sheet. So what is Google? Google Sheet is nothing but just like what we have on the Microsoft Excel. Similarly, we have cloud-based spreadsheet, and that is called Google Sheets. So simply what how we used to work with Excel. So similarly, we can use that too. So we'll see all of this in practice. And now just a little bit about the XM Cloud forms. So like to go through Sitecore forms, here we have two options. Either we can simply, when we click on XM Cloud application, so there on the UI itself, we have this small pop-up menu. From there, we can choose the form, or through XM Cloud Launchpad also, we can choose the forms. And if we click on that, then the next UI will get is uh, this list of forms where we can see the available forms, and then we can create the new form. Okay, so the next one is creation of the form. So if you see here, we have that template library option over here. So through this, we have some inbuilt template given, like we used to have templates in Sitecore. Similarly, we are having template library in XM Cloud Forms, so we can use that out of the box template, and we can save our created form as a template as well. So then afterwards, we can use that too in a template library. These are the controls for various features like edit or design. If currently it's in edit mode, so it's showing edit, otherwise it will show you the design. Here you can see the comment, so you can pass on some comments and discuss on that. Preview is like it's well known that you can review that thing. And then settings option, where we can actually have all the settings given to the form itself. And these are the like three options: layout, items, and options. So in layout, we'll have the capability to choose which layout we want for the form. It can be 2 column, 3 column, or 4 column. So you have that capability. In items, you'll see the available fields to drag on the forms. And here, if you see, this is the custom section. So like you, whatever field you think that can be broadly going to use in your different forms, so maybe you can save that as a custom field, and then you can use that going forward. And this option one is like a styling capability for your form at the global level itself. And we have the styling capability at the field level as well. So we can style our specific field on that too. Okay, and this is a little bit about the settings. So this is the main segment where we assign the styles and a webhook, and what is the action, a post action we can do, and the forms or the site where this form is applicable. So we can view that now. Let's go to the demo. Okay, so this is the XM Cloud or cloud sandbox. So here, if you see, we have different cloud projects. So let's say I click on any project, and here we have the option of forms. We can click on that, and then it will open us the UI that we have seen in the presentation. Yep. So this is that screen, and here, if you see, I have already created one form. So let me open that. Okay, so this is the form that I created, and now we can try to create one new form in front of you. So okay, so this is the first screen where you can choose the layout. So it can be full with 2 column, 3 column, and any option that you want, or you can simply load the template. So let's say we are going to use the template given by the Sitecore itself. So this is the book your stay. So maybe we can use that. Yeah. So see here, this is the default template that we can use. And here it's showing us the different fields that we can drag and drop on the form. And these are our custom fields. And these are the settings that we can apply on this particular form itself. And if you see, Here we have individual settings related to a field. So we can provide the name and styling capability and every other related to data, help text, everything we can configure over here. Okay. Now the next part is let's go to the logic. So here, see, there currently there is no logic applied over here, but you can add the logic. So let's say you want to add some logic to the email that if uh, my email is there, then it should be mandatory. So if it is empty, then what you want to do? You want to make this field required. So make the email field required, and then we can save this particular thing. So now let's say if we want to add one more logic, let's say here we are having a different type airport pickup, room type, and everything else. So maybe let's say we can choose airport pickup. So if no is equal to, it's showing you the existing values that it has. So we can say if it is uh, this one, yes, pick me up, then you want to do something. So let's say you want to show the field for flight number. So in that case, what will happen? Let's say if you go to the preview. So you see here, now the email field is mandatory. And currently we are not seeing that flight number, but when I click on this airport pickup, then the flight number will come. So similarly, we can add this logic. Uh, now, if you see, there is currently no specific styling apply over here, right? So if you go to your settings, so see here, we can apply any existing styles to this form, and how we can create these styles. So see here we have the styles. So currently I have created one style demo. So here you can give the capability, like I have just given change the background color, change the help text color. So these styles I have given over here, and I have just given the background color of these social icons to be green. So now when no we go here, and if we apply the style, say style. Okay, now if you preview the form, so see here, the styling is changed. Now we have that style applied over here. So this is one thing, and now the next part is related to webhook. So how we can do that part. So like for webhook, let's first what we can do. We can go to Sitecore Connect. So this is our Connect. Okay, now here we have these options: dashboard, recipe, and library. So we need to create the recipe. Like in dashboard, we can have the analytics related to that, and in library, you can go and choose something from the library itself. Like from community, we are given some recipe provided, so you can choose that too. Now we are into Sitecore Connect. Now here first we need to create a project. I already created one project, so we can choose that. Now the next part is creation of your recipes and connection. So see here, like I have already created some, connection, like for my Google Sheet account. I also have my Sitecore Send one created over here. So for creation of an connection, for example, like if you go here, so when you click on new connection, you can choose different, option is more than, I guess, I forget the number, but it good amount of number through which we can connect to the different application, and you can have your custom connector created as well. So so let's say for example Google Sheet. So you can choose that thing, and then you can see that, and then sign in with your Google account. So once you sign in, then your connection will be created with the Google. So similarly, you can connect with any of the application. So now let's go back over here. We'll create a new recipe. Let's say. Okay, so we'll go and create a recipe. So when you do that, the next option is how you want to create that. So we can choose the webhook, and then start building. Okay, so this is giving you the canvas for creating the recipe. Now here you are having that opportunity where they'll guide you how to connect the webhook, because you need to provide that URL to the SQL Cloud form. So either you can have that UI capability, or you can do it manually. So in that case, you have to provide the JSON that is given by the form, so that you can utilize those fields further in this form. So let's say we'll go with this guided step. Now here we need to provide the name. So let's say, so here if you see, you got this URL. So you just need to copy this URL. Okay, and the next part is listen for that. So just click on that, then it's waiting for listening a request, and then we can where we are. Yep. So this is our form. So you can first click on manage webhook. Here you can create your new webhook. We can just simply go with no authentication. Give webhook name, and then the URL that we just copied over here, and then save it. Okay, so it created that. Now we can simply close it, and we can choose that webhook. Now here, when you click on this test webhook, okay, now you can provide you some information, let's say, and okay, let me clear this. Okay, now it's showing you the payload. You can choose that and submit. Here is showing you webhook test successful. Now you can go to your connect, and here it got that request, and these are the details, and this is the payload for that. So you can simply say setup webhook. So if you see, now you got everything that is needed, and then you can utilize these fields further in your actions. So for example, here we have this no action options. So we can have if condition, we can directly choose the application, and then there are different handle errors and stop job and everything else. So for example, let's say if we choose if condition, so here you can say, okay, if there is an email, so yep, so if let's say email, if it is present, okay, then we want to do the rest of the task here. So let's say I want to just send an email, or then I want to connect to the Sitecore send and subscribe to that. So I can do that. So here, like in Sitecore send, we can create the subscriber. We can simply trigger the automation. So everything we can do from here. And I already created my Sitecore send connection. So I have that capability that I can go ahead and do rest of the task. So like this here, I just want to choose my connection. And then here it will show you the list. So this is the list that is currently present in my email list. So this is this thing, and now how we can utilize the Google Sheets. So let's say next step is I want to integrate with the Google Sheets. Now here I already connected my Google Sheet over here. So now here we can simply edit, right? So when you click on add, you have to choose your connection. And then here you can choose details related to spreadsheet. So which spreadsheet I want to work on. So I can choose that like book stay. And then here you'll choose the sheet. And then here you can map the data. Like, okay, for the full name, I want to assign this to this value. So when it add the row, then it will have this specific value in this column. So full name will go to the full name, email will go to the email, kind of those things it will do for us. Okay, so this is one thing. Now we can simply, for sake of time, we can simply see what we have currently created. And before that, we can just go to this. So we have seen this Sitecore send. So here, when you click on email list, so here you can create email list like this. So in this way, you can create them, and then you can add the members over here. And in our case, currently we'll add the member through subscribe from the form, Action Cloud form. And now the next part is the automation, because actually automation is the thing that is going to finally execute our action. So here, for example, here either we can choose automation from a recipe or we can create a custom automation. So here first we need to choose the trigger and then the action. So what is the triggering point of it? So let's say if somebody is subscribing to my email list, then I want to do some action. So I have chosen this. When somebody subscribes to this specific email list, let's say airport pickup, then what I want to do, I can click on this and then I can either add conditions or simply add the action. So either no, I'll say then ping me. So in that case, it will give you the option to directly send the email to the list of people over here, and I can simply say send an email campaign. So in that case, it will give you the opportunity to configure your email. So similarly, we have other different options. You can explore that too. Like for example, let's say if I say then ping me, then here if you see you got the list of recipient, you can add the number of recipient and then message. What do you want to give the message to that particular recipient? And let's say uh, I want to send an email. So in that case, you will have this capability. You can choose the subject line from, currently it's a demo one. So we only have one option. So that is this one. And then here either you can simply give the rich text editor or you can choose from the existing campaign, and then you can save it. So if you choose from existing campaign, then it will give you that capability to choose the template from here. Okay. Since there is some issue, that's why it's not rendering. So let me open my existing created thing over here. Okay, let's go to the automation. Yeah. So see here, currently I have created two automation over here. One is for corporate suite automation and one for airport pickup. So let's go into that. So here I say, okay, if someone subscribe to airport pickup, then ping these people. So here I have given my email ID and then I told, okay, new request for airport pickup. Now go to the next one. This is a corporate suite automation. So here I told, okay, if somebody subscribe to corporate suite list, in that case, trigger this email. So I created this from email campaign editor. So here it will have those details. So these are the automation that I created. So whenever somebody will subscribe to this list, it will automatically trigger this automation. So now let's go to the Sitecore Connect. Okay, I'll show you that recipe. Currently, it's so like here. This is the recipe details. I already started that recipe. So it I run that form 2 times. So it got 2 requests, and here by clicking on any of this, you will get the list of details. So let's say I'll edit this recipe. So this is the recipe that I created. Now what it does. So this is the webhook. So here is the URL for that. And the if condition, if email is present, then what he needs to do, he needs to send this email. So here we are connecting the Gmail. It will send that email. Then again, I put the if condition that if there is an airport pickup. So what I say, if this airport pickup start with yes. So we have 2 options for this currently. Let me open that other form that I created. So this is the demo one. So this is yes or no. Yes, pick me, or no, I will go my own. So for that, I created, okay, when it starts with yes, then what I want to do, I want to subscribe to this email list. So airport pickup, and here what I want to give is the subscriber email is this. So what it does is like it will create this email in the email list subscriber, and then it will trigger the automation. And the second condition that I did is like if the room type is corporate, like it start with corporate, then subscribe to this create subscriber send. So here I've given corporate suit list. So in that case, it will subscribe the user to this list, and then it will trigger the automation for us. Okay, so now let's test this recipe. It's waiting for the request. Now go to our forms. Here we'll choose a form that I created. Yeah, so this is the form. So here I've given apply that style sheet. I've given this background color as well, and the social icon as well over here. Now let's say just remove this formatting. Email is number of pages is 6, and if I say no, I'll go my own, or I can say yes, my flight number is this. Okay, now before that, just check whether this is email is present in our email list or not. So just go to the email list. And here, if you see, we have the corporate suite. So here, the email that we have is Rinku@gmail. That means this email currently is not subscribed. So definitely you should add over here once we submit that form. Okay. So this is a demo form. Now we can choose this one. Okay. Now I'll say book now. It will have the payload details. Okay. Now so yeah, you got the request, see here, and then you can see the steps. Okay, now it give you the detail that these are the input and this is the output, like this. Okay, so now it successfully executed every step, and here, if you see, it added the entry to Google Sheet as well. Now first we can cross check over here. So let's go to our email list again. Now so see here, it created one new email, and this is the from Connect. The source is Connect. And similarly, it will no do rest of the tasks. And now if we see the email. So let me show my email box. So I got this email. We created this email from that email Gmail connector, and now here we got this demo email, right? So through this actually we connected Sitecore Send, and through that we got everything that is needed from them. So yeah, I guess we are good over here. Then I guess we are. I'm done from my side. Do we have any query?
No, Rinku, we don't have any query in chat. If you have any query, you can ask directly.
Okay then. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Rinku, for this great session, and thanks everyone for joining. And we'll see you in the next user group session soon. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you all. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.